Hi everyone, here I discuss the techniques of fundamental analysis. The fundamental analysis is related with the EIC analysis, that is economic, industry and company analysis. Under company factors, the balance sheet or the earnings of various company will differ. So how to find out the whether the stock is overvalued or undervalued is our objective. We have to see whether we'll be get on the constant dividend or not, and also we are to check whether these companies will be earning profit in the company years. So based on these decisions only we are going to invest in particular company or not. That is, the fundamental analysis is the process of understanding a business at the basic or the fundamental financial level. This analysis examine important ratio of a business to determine its financial health and give an idea of the value of its stock. Many investors use fundamental analysis alone or in combination with other tools to evaluate stock for investment purposes. The goal is to determine the current worth of stock, that is, whether the stock is overvalued or undervalued. For this, various techniques or tools are used in fundamental analysis. They are earning per share, price to earnings, projected earnings growth, price to sales ratio, price to book ratio, dividend payout ratio, dividend yield ratio, book value, and profit margin. Based on these tools, whether a particular stock is overvalued or undervalued. In simple terms, the overvalued stock may fall at any time. Undervalued stock has a growth potential more than the overvalued stock. This is the basic logic before using these tools or techniques in fundamental analysis. First, we discuss the first tool, earning per share, that is EPS. EPS is the portion of profit which is allocated to each shares of the company. When the company of EPS is high, when the earnings of that company is high. This gives the proper picture of a company stock value to a maximum extent. To find out the EPS, the EPS is equal to net income after tax divided by total number of outstanding shares. The EPS is three type: trailing EPS, current EPS, forward EPS. Trailing EPS is the most recently computed fiscal year. The current EPS is the this fiscal year. Forward EPS is the EPS of next fiscal year. The current EPS and the forward EPS is projection. And the next, price to earning ratio, that is PE ratio. The P ratio is related with the market value of each share, that is the company market price. To find out the PE ratio, the company market price divided by the earning per share. That is what is willing to pay for the company's earnings. What is means the current market value price. For example, the SBI EPS is 10 and the current market price is 188. PE ratio is 18.8. In general, high PE ratio suggests that investors are expecting higher earning growth in the future compared to company with lower PE. A low PE can indicate either that the company may currently be undervalued or that the company is doing exceptionally well relative to its past trend. Also, the EPS ratio, the P ratio is high when the company earnings is high. The P ratio is mainly two type: trailing P ratio and forward P ratio. Trailing P ratio is the P ratio for last 12 months or last year, and the forward P ratio is the P ratio for next 12 months, that is projection. Next is projected earning growth. This figure presents the projected one-year earnings growth rate of stock held by a firm. Project earning growth gives the good picture of a company growth project. That is, this gives the good picture related with the company's growth projects. All things being equal, stock the better growth prospects are more desirable than those with poorer growth rates. Next, price to sales ratio. It compares the stock price to its revenue. The price sales ratio is compare the stock price to its revenue. It is used to compare with other company in same sector. The price to sales is equal to market capitalization dividing the company's total revenue. Market capitalization is equal to total shares outstanding into CMP. CMP means company market price. Low ratio indicate the share is undervalued. The limitation of the price to sales ratio is it does not to take into consideration on the debt or the expense of the company. It is only take into the revenue part of the company. The next is the price to book ratio. The price to book ratio is the ratio to compare the company's current market share to its book value. It tell what company will be left if it liquidated all its asset and repay its liabilities. The PB ratio is equal to stock price divided by book value per share. If the PB ratio is less than 1, it indicates the stock is undervalued and vice versa. For example, the SBI CMP in 20th April 2020 rupees 192.1, the book value is 219.90, so the PB ratio is 0.87, that is it is less than 1, so it is very good. Next is dividend payout ratio. In simple term, it is the amount of dividend which is paid to shareholders in relation to the income of the company, that is in relation to the net income of the company. It helps to know what portion of net income a company is returning to its shareholders, how much retain from the growth and the debt payoff, etc. The dividend payout ratio DPR is equal to total amount of dividend divided by net income, or the DPR is equal to DPS divided by EPS. For example, DPS is the dividend per share, EPS is the earning per share. For example, the EPS of a company is rupees 35 and pay the annual dividend of rupees 7 per share. The dividend payout ratio is 20%, that is 7 by 35 into 100. Next, dividend yield ratio. It is the most important to know the investors for getting dividend. It helps to know how much a company is paying out the dividend in every year related to its share price. To find out the dividend yield ratio, the annual dividend of a stock divided by current share price. For example, share price rupees 50 and the dividend rupees 1, the dividend yield ratio is 2, that is 1 by 50 into 100. Well established company provide the high and consistent dividend unlike a new emerging company. Next, book value. The book value of a company is the difference in value between the company's total asset and the total liabilities on its balance sheet. That is, book value is equal to assets minus the liabilities. Value investors uses the price to book ratio to compare a firm's market capitalization to its book to identify potentially over and undervalued stock. Next is the profit margin. Margin are the earnings expressed a ratio or the percentage of the sales. The net profit margin is equal to net profit divided by revenue. Higher profit margin indicate that the company has better control over its cost than its competitors. And the next, return on equity. It is study how the efficient a company is generating a return to its shareholders' investment. The ROE is equal to net income divided by book value into 100. It measures the profitability of the company which is generated using an invested money of the shareholders. The ideal ROE or the return on equity of the company is between the 30 to 15 percentage. That is, a company should earn at least 30-50 percentage from its investors, from its shareholders, or from the equity shares. High ROE means company is capable of generating more revenue without more capital. More debt means less shareholders and high ROE. At last, the conclusion. Fundamental analysis can be valuable, but it should be approached with caution. If you are reading research written by a sell-side analyst, it is important to be familiar with the analyst behind the report. We all have the personal biases, and every analyst have some sort of bias. Thank you.